Hey, it's Demi from Rockstar Priestess on video to wish you a happy Imbolg. Now, pronunciation of Imbolg is Imbolg. You don't talk about the B. I think in Irish or Old Irish they don't have a B sound, although it's just one of the words we ignore. Irish language is one of the ones that I find very, very confusing because they have all sorts of words and letters you don't say, and I didn't learn French as a kid, so I'm not used to it. Anyway, happy Imbolg. Imbolg is the celebration of the coming spring, not the actual spring, my friends. No, the coming spring, because if you look outside, it's still cold as fuck. Spring is not here yet. So, Imbolg is I read that it's the celebration of midwinter, in that midwinter was the start of winter, and Ostara, or the equinox in March, is the beginning of spring. So Imbolg kind of signifies we're halfway there. It's the transition between the two times. So Imbolg, or Imbolg, I say it wrong all the time, is all about noticing the quickening of the earth. The quickening is about knowing that deep within the earth, everything is stirring. New life is beginning to wake up. Seeds are beginning to deep under the earth and start reaching towards the surface. And the beginning of new life is happening. It's a bit like, I think it's called the quickening because it's a bit like the pregnancy of the earth, in a way that all this new life stuff's happening, but it's happening deep inside. It's not out and obvious yet. It's the beginning, it's the growth. And in our lives, that kind of manifests in a kind of impatience, perhaps, where we're so excited about the new year and we're so excited about all the stuff we want to create, but it's like we have ants in our pants, but it's not quite manifesting yet, and it's not quite happening yet, and it's still that intense planning, preparation energy. So this time of the year would be great for prep rather than expecting that you have all your super fancy goals and projects and your holiday to Thailand booked in and your super massive mega, I don't know, cupcake baking retreat on lock. It's more, you kind of got to give yourself some slack and acknowledge that where you are is where you're meant to be, and you're not meant to be at peak full moon, peak summer solstice, peak part of the year. Yeah, it's the preparation, it's the growing in the belly. So in our lives we're growing stuff in our bellies. I'm not, thank goodness. Yeah, so at this time of year, we, in the goddessy traditions, or at least in the one that I say grew up in, I didn't, the tradition that I kind of grew up in, kind of initiated in, the tradition that has been in my heart for a long, long time. It's the season of the maiden, and the maiden goddess. So this is the goddess as a child or a young girl, and she represents qualities of innocence and purity and curiosity, I always think. What else does she represent? New life, of enthusiasm. She's that image of the little girl. In my brain, she's always the image of the little girl dressed in white, in the cold, snow is receding, and she's playing and looking at the shoots in the ground, and she's kind of moving the snow away from the little green shoots in the earth, and just babbling on and talking to all the birds she can see and all the swans. And she is innocence and purity, and I don't mean purity in that fucked up Christian, a girl is only pure if she's never had sex or abstained from anything that's, let's face it, remotely fun kind of way. it's purity in the sense that we are born innocent. Like when you have a baby, you don't question its innocence or its worthiness or its purity. Then when you get to our age, suddenly there's all this question about if you're worthy, or that you've been around the houses a bit, so you're not quite as pure and innocent. Innocence and purity is kind of your base state, I think. My pretty much method of compassion and looking out on life is more of, if you met a puppy, you love that puppy, right? You don't even have to know that puppy to know that you love that puppy, and that if it does something wrong, you're not going to be angry at it. And if you are, you're only going to be angry at it for a tiny amount of time, because it is just an adorable, innocent, sweet being on this earth that deserves compassion and love. And we were all puppies once, we were all babies once, and what point does it get to where you grow up and you're no longer worthy of puppy compassion or innocent status? So I like to think of this at Imbolg, that everybody is a puppy and everybody is deserving of some kind of compassion and thoughtfulness and puppy love. So yeah, happy Imbolg. Do go on over to my website, which is at www.priestesstraining.com, because I have written up a fancy blog post for you, which is 7 easy ideas of stuff to do at Imbolg. I always forget what to do at Sabbath, so sometimes it's nice to have a handy list, and it's not all get 12 candles and arrange them in a circle and then get sheep's wool and weave it into a wicker basket. No, it's really, really, really freaking easy stuff, because ain't nobody got time for that. Love you lots.